I really wanted to do. There was a karaoke bar in downtown Boise, and they closed it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was when Chelsea was still working with us. I was like, we gotta go, and we were like planning on going, and then it closed.
And it didn't work.
Nope. I was bummed because it's one of those that you go into a room, and you just go with the people that you know, so you don't have to sing in front of other people.
Oh, what? Yes.
Yeah, those
Oh.
are. I've done those before. They're really fun.
But everybody can still watch?
Like with your group, yeah.
Oh, with your group.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of random strangers.
Yeah, but what do you, wouldn't it be fun to just kind of hear what other people are doing too? And kind of make
Yeah.
fun of them, like, okay, you really suck. But it's like a karaoke bar. Who cares if you suck?
Yeah, everyone sucks.
Yeah,
Except for the one person.
that would be my wife.
Oh, yeah, she's good.
But she's not just good.
She's great.
She should have been I should have just let her be the Taylor Swift and I'd be the Travis Kelsey of the
Yeah.
yeah.
Just follow her around.
Okay, so what's your full name?
Marjorie Blair Riddle.
Okay.
Or I guess you can add a Worthington in there too.
Okay, so what's the full
Well, it's not technically. I didn't take his last name.
what?
I didn't. Riddle's my maiden name.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
that's right.
yep,
Yeah.
Marjorie Blair Worthington Riddle. Well, I guess Riddle Worthington. He should have taken my last name.
Okay, so your husband's last name is Worthington.
Mm-hmm.
Your official last name is
Riddle.
It is Riddle.
I never changed it.
How does he take that?
He doesn't care.
He's a pretty easygoing guy.
He's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of needed a chill guy, huh?
No. If anything, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he chills me out.
Oh, he definitely chills you out.
Yeah.
You do need that.
Yeah. And I give him a little bit more oomph.
Oh, he needs a little bit more oomph.
Mm-hmm.
So your husband's in the military?
Yep. Air Force, 11 years in, 9 years left.
9 years left.
Yeah.
Is will he be done in 9 years?
Yeah.
What if he says, I want to extend for another 7?
Hell no. Nope. Nope.
So tell me the good about being a military wife.
Getting to explore the country, like seeing different sides. Like I've been in Virginia, Texas, now Idaho. But it gives us
What's your favorite?
opportunities. Virginia.
Don't you dare say Virginia.
Okay, if it wasn't my home state, Idaho.
Okay, but your home state is Virginia.
Virginia. It's still that's my home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I got opportunities to see. I've been all
What's
over the
his home
country.
state?
California.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so California's out.
But
That's
he's
fine.
not. We almost got stationed there too. It was between Idaho, California, or Arizona. Arizona would have been kind of cool. It was going to be in the Phoenix area. In California, it would have been Edwards Air Force Base in the middle of nowhere, in the desert. It takes 45 minutes to get there, and there's nothing in between.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Edwards?
So I know it's in the Central Valley.
But I know Luke Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not sure. No, Edwards is near Tucson.
Edwards is in California.
Oh, it's in California.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in California. Okay.
But yeah, so we got very lucky. We got assigned here, and I've loved it. I've met such a great you. I met you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You were just
I was just one day
a fill-in, a substitute. What do we call them?
Sub.
A sub.
Hygiene sub.
So a hygiene sub.
Yeah, just one day a week. I was
Were
coming
you
in on
doing that?
Thursdays.
Were you doing that on a regular basis?
Yeah.
You went to quite a few offices.
So I worked in Mountain Home. The schedule sucked there. It was 5 to 8 in the evenings. 5 to 8 Monday, Tuesday, 8 to 5 Fridays. That was it. And so I was like, I'm not making money. And so I had to travel to Boise, which is, at the time we lived on base, so that was like an hour away. So I subbed, I've been in like 20 offices in the Treasure Valley. So.
Yeah, and so you came in and I was like, yeah, she will do.
Yeah, you were very intimidating.
Why?
You were.
Me?
Yeah,
or
the first
office?
day. No, the office was great.
But I was intimidating?
Yeah, like you were very, I don't know, my first day was crazy. It was just
like, what do you mean? I don't even remember.
Back to back, like patients. Jordan felt so bad. She's like, oh my gosh, she's never going to sub here again. But I loved it. I mean, I was doing well. And then I got you for exams and you were very serious that day.
I was?
Yeah. And then I left and I was like, okay, bye. And I guess you were in a meeting with John and somebody else and you're like, we'll talk. And you had like the straightest face. I'm like, okay.
Hey, that doesn't even sound like me.
No.
So, But you were only supposed to be there one day, and then what ended up happening?
I was only just Thursdays, and then Deborah was like, "Can you do Mondays?" And I was like, "Sure, okay." So I was working. It was rough. I was working Thursdays with you guys, Fridays in Mountain Home, and then on Mondays I would work at your office, and then travel back to Mountain Home and work the office there at night. So I was basically working from 7 to 8.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we added Tuesdays, and then I did that on Tuesdays, and then I was full time with you guys, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit the other job. Eh, they weren't. They were great. They were great.
Well, I got to tell you, we've had a lot of hygienists. You are definitely that have worked for me for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You are amazing. And
Aw.
I'm not just saying that.
Keep going.
No, you are. Don't. And here's the thing that it just really makes me nervous. Do not move anywhere.
I'm at least guaranteed 2 years here
That's
still,
wonderful.
but I don't want to leave either. I really don't. Ugh, that's. I know it's like coming, but
Yeah. So let's not even think about
I
that at
just
this point,
don't.
right?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to get into hygiene
So when I started college, I wanted to either
in
do
Virginia?
in Virginia. I went to James Madison. I wanted to either do dental or pharmacy. My uncle's a pharmacist, so I was like, okay, sure, he makes a lot of money. So did the pre-pharm track, did all the sciences, took my PCAT, and then I worked as a tech in a hospital for a summer and hated it. I was like,
Did you imagine being a pharmacist?
no, the pressure? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You got to make sure people don't die. I mean,
Well,
we do that too in our field too, but like you got to like make sure all those medications don't kill somebody.
so you know my theory on pharmacists?
What?
I'm going to say within 5 years, pharmacists will be no more.
You think because of AI?
AI.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because they're not going to make a mistake.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, that being said, the pharmacist is more than just the facts
Yeah.
because they're actually dealing with human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not 5 years, maybe 10 years. But I mean, it's literally going to be a kiosk. And there's like all of the big pharmacies,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like Red Box with your pills. You're just
Yeah.
going to go, or it's just going to be delivered through Amazon or something like that.
Have you seen the video of somebody pulled up to a Wendy's and it was AI? It wasn't a person
Oh, really?
it was like, can I take like what do you want to order? It was like voice to text almost, but on the big screen of them ordering their food. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
Well,
crazy.
that's coming because of the cost of the services and labor costs.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard. I think this is interesting. That I just heard about a place it was Arkansas or Alabama, and it's the first kiosk where it's going to be you can drive up for ammo and get it out your ammunition. You literally you got to show them your ID so you can read it. Then it does facial recognition
Mm,
and you get your ammo.
that
Hey,
is crazy.
that's kind of cool.
That is crazy. Oh my
So,
gosh. But anyway,
anyways,
so did that, and then I was like, well, crap. I just spent all this money on a degree, and then my friend called me after we graduated college. She's like, hey, I'm working at this physical therapy clinic. Do you want to like just work here? And I'm like, sure, I need a job. And so I was there for 4 years. I was a tech, and then I did front office. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I was like, I'm not passionate about this at all. This is like not what I want to do. So I went around and I shadowed people, shadowed different health fields because I wanted to be in the health field. And I knew somebody's mom who was a hygienist, and I shadowed her, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I kind of like this, like spit, blood, doesn't gross me out. And so I went to school, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my bread and butter. I love this. So yeah,
so once you saw it, you're like, okay,
yeah,
and you never looked back.
never looked back.
So there's certain people. The one thing I always say, what I look for when I hire someone, we can train you in a lot of areas. I mean, hygiene, you have to have a specific skill set to be able to do. Assistants and things like that have to have a specific skill set. There's a lot of things we can train you, even in the dental field. The one thing we can't train you is ability to be able to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
We can't train you to have a personality. We can't train you of how you are naturally with people. You are a natural with individuals. And I think the reason why is because I think you truly love people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's quite a talent.
Oh.
And so, yeah, you really do rock when it comes to that. So tell me, let's go back to your husband. So he's had a little bit of dental work in his past.
Yeah. Yup.
So tell me his story,
Oh gosh.
especially military dentistry.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, growing up, he unfortunately just didn't get a lot of dental care. Um, so there was a lot of neglect, I guess. So goes into the military and they, try to attempt to fix all the decay, and they still do amalgam fillings, which are silver fillings. There you can read the research behind it and make your own opinion about it, but I'm not a fan.
So hey, every we want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
So tell me why you don't like mercury fillings.
So I don't know, maybe it's over time too. So both my parents have amalgams, right? But they're lasting. They last and they're actually good restorations. Some of the newer ones that I've found they break so easily, and I don't know, you just hear of, mercury poisoning, right? Like, do you think that it does anything to our
Okay, so
bodies when it corrodes?
here's the reality of it. Um, so they've looked at it. It's fairly stable once it's in the body.
Right.
But if you took that same mercury capsule and you were in a school and you dropped it, so what happens is there's mercury on one side, there's the amalgam. Amalgam just means different materials. Silver is a small portion of what that is, but it's amalgamated of different metals. So you've got this powder metal on one side of this capsule, and the capsule is probably like an inch and a half wide and probably a half inch in diameter. So you got this capsule, and in between is a piece of paper.
Mhm.
So the mercury's on one side, the powder's on the other side. And what happens? You put it in what's called a titrator, and it literally shakes it extremely hard and extremely fast, and that's what mixes the materials. When that happens, then you can take that material, you put it in a carrier, and you shove it in the tooth.
Mhm.
It is literally the easiest thing to be able to do in dentistry because you don't have to worry about split saliva, blood. You can put it in anything and it still will work. So you're creating what's called undercuts in the tooth. When you push it into the tooth, then it sets hard. And when it sets hard, it actually expands. That expansion then is what sets into the tooth. There's no glue, there's nothing that actually sets it to the tooth itself. The problem is that it is a metal and there is mercury, and
Mhm.
that mercury will leak throughout the life of the patient. They've shown supposedly no adverse reactions over time. Then there you start really looking at it. Does anybody really want mercury in their system? That being said, I have mercury fillings
Mhm.
in my own mouth. I know that it's fairly stable. They're really small, but I keep thinking, man, I got to get those out. I got to get those out. And it's okay, doctor, treat thyself. But
Mhm.
the the reality is the reason we like to remove it from people's teeth is that the mercury will expand up to 7 times greater to cold and heat, and it's constantly doing that over the life cycle of the tooth.
Mhm.
I used to work for a dentist, and uh, it's a long story, but he actually said these words to me that really bothered me. And he said, "Don't you realize why don't you want to do mercury fillings?" And I call them mercury fillings because that's what they are.
Mhm.
Why don't you want to do mercury fillings? Don't you realize that every one of those are baby crowns just waiting to grow up?
Mm.
So every time you do a filling, he knows it's going to eventually crack the tooth.
That's not okay.
And when it cracks, it's going to need a crown.
Yep.
So that's the reason if a majority or even a large portion of the tooth is a silver amalgam mercury filling, eventually it has a good chance it's going to crack. You're going
Mhm.
to end up with a crown. In comparison, when you do a composite filling, it's resin filled with glass particles that sets to a solid with a UV light. When you put that in a tooth, it literally shrinks. Well, we bind that to the tooth with bonding agent, and so it literally pulls the tooth together instead of push the tooth apart. The difference is it's much more difficult to place the
Oh, yeah.
composite than it is the mercury. Much, much more difficult. So you have to have much more, you have to be perfect on your moisture control. You can't have any saliva, no blood, no anything. So it's just much more difficult. But yet, I've been doing it for 25 years, 26 years.
And you love them, right?
No, I hate them. Because now I get to a point where it's like, okay, I only want to do surgery
Yep.
in big cases. But anyways, but your husband is Ben. He's had all these mercury fillings.
Yep.
He had some issue. Was missing teeth?
He's missing one tooth. And then the military, sometimes they don't like to refer out. They try to do everything in-house because they don't want to pay. So they attempted root canals that are failing,
Yeah.
and some in the future we know are going to fail. So the same thing with those silver, mercury fillings. They're cracking his teeth. A lot of abscesses and yeah, airway issues.
And part of the mercury, or no, sorry, part of the military issues that you face when you get your dentistry done there, you have no idea who the dentist is going to be.
Nope.
You are assigned, and then the next time you go, you're going to get somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like somebody that you can trust.
Right.
And it might be good,
And it could be bad.
and it could be bad.
Yeah. And also another thing that frustrates me, they only get one cleaning a year,
Oh,
and
no.
it's not by a hygienist.
It's not?
Nope. Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So they do hire hygienists. Most of the time they only do like SRPs, but a lot of those they don't get diagnosed until they get out of the military, and then they see us and we're like, "Oh,
So they just get a janitor off the street to be able to
no."
do the clean. I'm just kidding.
No, they
Like,
have dental techs. So it's
oh,
basically dental assistants.
okay.
Yeah.
But they haven't been trained in hygiene.
Not to our extent, no.
Oh, wow.
So they are
I did not
technically
know
so
that.
one of my good friends that we made in the military, she used to be a dental tech in the military. She's like, "Yeah, we're not supposed to go, sub G, like more than 3 millimeters is like a no-no." So she's just like, "Yeah, it's not good."
So what's the one thing in what you do on a daily basis that you're just like, okay, what's the least favorite thing you do?
Ooh. Well, I don't do them anymore because I don't like them. Like impressions. Ugh. Like whenever I hear iTero scan, ugh,
Really?
I hate them.
Really?
No, they're hard for me. I'm like, Caitlin, help me, Kenzie.
So you have people that come in and help you with that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
your assistants are
Yeah,
amazing.
they are.
I love them. But yeah,
You
I
have a
don't.
great team.
You really do. That's another reason why I literally drive 45 minutes to work here. It's fantastic. But yeah,
Don't go anywhere. 2 years.
at least.
At least 2 years.
At least 2 years. But yeah,
Unless you get pregnant or something.
no. No. No.
Well, so wait a minute here, but you kind of have a kid.
Yep, I have my nephew, Wyatt, just turned 16. And
So
everyone asks, like, does that change your mind about having children? No, it's a different situation. Totally get it. Yeah,
so tell us the story about that.
oh gosh, it's crazy. So crazy long story. Unfortunately, his parents passed. So Wyatt is my husband's nephew, my husband's brother's child. They died when Wyatt was 3. Oh God, I get choked up.
His parents did.
And then my mother-in-law raised him, but she passed last year. So it's been hard. It's
So
been really hard.
so how did they pass?
His parents, I don't really want to get into it because
You
it is
you
very
don't have to.
personal, but
No, don't say too much.
it was not a good situation.
Okay.
I will say that. It was not a good situation. So and then there was custody battles with my mother-in-law and the grandparents. It was a whole mess. So just not a very stable childhood. My mother-in-law raised him, but unfortunately she had her demons too. So yeah, and she passed very suddenly. She didn't take care of herself very well. Um and towards the end I feel like she tried to make amends. Like her relationship with my husband was not great growing up, but it got better. And we would have conversations too, me and her, and she's just like, "Man, I did not do a great job. I and I feel guilty." So, but anyway, yeah, she unfortunately passed last year, the natural causes. Um, and yeah, so he doesn't really have anybody else really to take him in. So I told Sean because I met Wyatt when he was 8, I had a gut feeling something was gonna happen like this, and I told him, like, "If anything were to happen, I will take him in."
You knew that?
I had a
L
long
Wow.
time ago before any of this stuff happened. So, yeah, I took him in
So
and,
in some ways, God was kinda preparing you.
yeah. Mhm. Oh, but yeah, it's been a rough road, but you guys, again, I'm gonna get choked up. You guys have been so supportive. I would not have been able to do this without you. I really wouldn't have.
But Wyatt's been with you guys,
A year and some change. Yeah,
so you um, you literally have a kid.
I have a
A n
child. Ugh,
a teenager.
teenager. Oh, he stinks so bad, guys. Ugh. But he's a great kid. He really is. And he's got, I mean, obviously with his history, he's gonna have mental health problems. And we've Mountain Home. I live in Mountain Home, which is about 45 minutes away from Boise. It's a small town. They have been game changers for us. They have been amazing. When we did the guardianship paperwork,
Mhm.
they literally sat down with me and went through every single piece of paper to make sure everything was filled out correctly to file. Even the judge was just like, "You're changing this kid's life." Like, he's like, "Every time I've done so many of these types of cases, and like it's usually not a good situation, but I can tell that there's love here." So his teachers are super responsive. His counselor is great. We got a house in Mountain Home now, and he's always out and about with his friends. I'm like, "Hey, bye. Have a good time. Curfew's midnight." So,
So I heard this once, I'm not sure why I'm thinking of this, but, um, it's about discipline with children, and your biggest influence over a child, and you probably have seen this because of what you've seen,
mhm.
your biggest influence over a child is 0 to 5 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
If the child does not have any discipline by the time they're 7, then your most influence is 0 to 5. But if you say 0 to 7, at 7 years old to 14 years old, your influence is half that.
Mm.
So all your influence is really 0 to 7. Then you have half of the influence that you could have had from 0 to 5. From 14 to 21 is even, it's like exponentially less than that.
Mhm.
After 21, then society disciplines them. So
Yeah.
if you think about that, most of the people that are in prison have had 0 discipline,
Mhm.
and then society is disciplining them, which is a horrible way to be disciplined.
Yeah. I get so worried about that.
So what I'm saying is you have taken someone that has been in a loving atmosphere to a degree, very hard,
Mhm.
but have taken on probably the hardest thing that possibly could be taken on
Yep.
because of the love and making sure that it's not society that's going to be.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to be the one that has to discipline.
And I usually do. Uh,
But he has no idea
it's hard.
how much that's going to help him the rest of his life.
I know, and I hear it from, all these parents that tell me this, and they're like, "Oh, in like 10 you won't hear the appreciation right now. It's gonna be tough." And it is so freaking hard to just deal with. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know. Like, you need to be these are the important years of your life to be preparing you for when you grow up and you're on your own. And my biggest fear is in 2 years, I want him to go to college. I hope he makes it into college. But once he turns 18, we can't be his guardians anymore. If we get assigned somewhere else and we can't afford to live in that town, we have to live on base.
Oh,
We can't
oh,
take him.
oh, they won't allow you to have him on. Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so that's my biggest fear is just he doesn't get it in time because I think he is, and this could be with COVID too. Because he did online schooling, he's so emotionally and his maturity is stunted
Because of it.
because of it, because of his history. I would say his mindset is sometimes at, like he's 16, but sometimes like a 12, 13-year-old's. He's not quite there yet. So, but I don't know. Now that I see him being more social, I do see it kinda getting a little bit better. It's really scary though, because you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, so it sounds like to me, some congressman needs to reach out to you and be able to help you be able to get Wyatt into if you end up on base,
Yeah,
okay, that just needs to happen.
it could. We could try.
I mean, families are family,
Yeah.
and whether it was by, I mean, it's blood and it's part of your family,
Mhm.
but I guess they have the rules for some reason here
Mhm.
or there. But um,
And there's questions too. People always ask, like, why don't you adopt? So Wyatt received Social Security from his father, from him, because his dad was served in the military too. And so I believe he still continues to get that Social Security up to a certain age. So if we adopt him, we lose that money. Um, and we want to set money aside, obviously for college, because that's expensive.
yeah,
So
does he want to go to college?
yeah, he wants to go. He wants to be an accountant.
Really? Is he good with numbers?
It's hard to tell. His math teacher this past year was new, so he really struggled.
So you know that I have a son that
Yes.
has some learning disabilities and has had some issues. Um, he amazes us all the time with his what he's been able to accomplish.
Mhm.
He has what's called 22q, which is a he has some issues with his 22nd chromosome. Anyways, um, it amazes me what he's been able to accomplish. He's an incredible salesman. I mean, he
Oh,
really
yeah.
is. He
I've
he
heard him talk.
he he can sell to anybody just about anything because I think he's not afraid of rejection because he's had rejection
Mhm.
his entire life. Um, he's had very few friends ever his whole life. So I look at him and I think, okay, what's the future going to be for him? I watch what my wife has done as his mother, and all of the things that I mean, we created a charter school because for him, um, it had 500 kids, still has 500 kids, and he only lasted 6 months in the charter school that we
Mm.
helped to be able to get going, which was its own. Oh man, that was an awful time of our lives. But I think of everything that is done for Justin, and he doesn't recognize it very much, but the alternative of where he could end up or where he could have been,
Yeah.
and he's at least doing it on his own. He's actually out there. I'm extremely proud of him, of what he's been able to accomplish. Still a lot of work, still a lot of, I mean, there's still a lot
Mhm.
dealing with him and some of the issues that he has to face. But I guess that's what life is about, is being able to help those, especially within our own families, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, you guys are amazing parents too. Like, seriously.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, your wife,
Oh man,
she's an amazing woman.
yeah, she has the Mother Teresa straight to heaven,
Yep.
and I'm just hoping that I can hold on just a little
You'll
bit
get
and
there.
be able to maybe be able to get there
No,
with her.
you will definitely get there. I mean, you guys, I see it with how you treat your staff. Like,
Well,
you treat us like family. Like, it's amazing. And you're so selfless. You really are.
I absolutely love it. When you have the right team and the right people, it's pretty easy to succeed as a unit
Mhm.
and as a team. Um, so tell me, who in the office do you hate the most?
Okay, let's see. Nobody. Mindy, because she's making me fat with all those treats.
Okay, yeah, she's pretty
The
amazing.
banana cream pie, did you have
Okay,
that?
I didn't even.
There's banana cream pie.
Did she bring that?
Yes, and
Was it gone?
no, there when I ate it, there was half a pie left. And then she made these snickerdoodle cookies yesterday. Did you eat one? Because
No,
I know you got a snob about
because
snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles is not that great of
It's
a cookie. It's a freaking
delicious.
sugar
Oh
cookie
my
with a little
gosh,
bit of what? Is
discriminating
it
against
like
cookies.
like I don't even like a swirl or something like cinnamon or
It's like
something.
cinnamon. It's like a nice
Okay,
cinnamon,
that
like
is a sugar cookie.
spicy.
Sugar cookie.
No, no, it's different.
Okay, make me a monster cookie and then okay, we're
Okay.
talking.
Okay.
But I'm not a big sugar. Sugar cookies are really made for women. Period. It
Mm,
really is. I mean,
mm.
if there's nothing to it, it's just kind of like yeah,
Did
yeah.
John like the snickerdoodles?
He did actually.
So you
Yes.
calling John a woman?
No, no, absolutely not. But he says it was really good. But he goes, I don't really like snickerdoodles, or I can't remember what he said about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
No.
not a snickerdoodle person.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
I should have tried one. I was trying. Okay, here's the reality. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight.
Okay.
Okay, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna eat a snickerdoodle. Um, I actually ate a good lunch. I think it was like
Is that quinoa? Was it that quinoa
yes,
thing that
yes,
I
yes, yes.
brought? Yeah.
But then they brought some pizza, and I only had one slice of pizza,
Mm,
and so then I went home, and my wife had trying to stay away from carbs. What does she make? She makes corn chowder
yum.
but it's corn, potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
no protein, and then the Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh,
Okay,
those
and
cheddar
then
biscuits.
after eating all that, then she goes, "Let's have ice cream." And so I had a bowl of ice cream. I went, "Okay, I had only carbs last night for dinner." And so then I get to the office, and what's there? Donuts, banana cream pie. If you want to keep your weight under control, don't go into dentistry. I can't believe we always have food.
There's a candy drawer in the office.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a huge
A
candy drawer.
candy drawer in a dental office.
Well, yeah, we don't, we want to, I mean, if in reality, every dental office should have like Mountain Dew in big 5-gallon
Mm-hmm.
jugs and candy constantly just to be able to improve our business.
What's the one thing you do that you know you shouldn't do as a dentist with your teeth? Mine's sunflower seeds. I crunch them with my
Um,
teeth.
oh, chew ice.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
I love chewing ice, but
Oh,
it's like,
man.
it really shouldn't do that. I used to think, like, I'm not a big soda drinker. I
Oh,
never have soda. This is
diet
not
doc.
soda.
Uh,
I hardly ever have soda. This is a Sobe, just to let everybody know.
mine's a Sprite,
Um,
not zero.
let's see. What is this? Oh, I'm like, I floss daily. I know I should water pick, and I don't water pick as
I
much
don't
as
water pick as
but
much, no.
but that's the
But
best.
you got healthy gums though, right?
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
good. I do most of the stuff. Oh, okay. The one thing I don't do. The one thing I don't do is get my silver fillings removed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know I need to do it, and I haven't done it. Why? I'm afraid of the needle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I hate needles. In fact, I was telling you.
Dr. High does a great job.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't.
sure she does.
She does.
I know she does. She's absolutely fantastic. The problem is, I just don't want to get numb.
Oh.
I d-
Would you rather feel the pain?
yes. Hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Rather nope. Nope. Numb me up. Give me the needles.
In fact, I had to have a crown done, removed, and I said, "Don't numb me."
Oh no. You put my crown on and I said numb me.
That's true.
No way.
You just had some dental work done.
Mm, yes.
What did you have done?
I got an implant.
Oh,
It's fantastic.
so why did you have to have an implant?
So I have an airway issue. I have a tongue tie that I still need to address, but I grind and clench, and I apparently fractured the root of number 31, the last tooth on the lower right side. And so, yep, and that can't be restored with root canal. So yeah, I get that implant.
So you went through the whole process. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me about the process.
Okay,
How did it go?
great. Well, first off, you do your scans and stuff, and um,
So you had the big X-ray,
yeah,
CBCT,
yep.
and we looked at it and went,
We pre-planned it and good to go. My husband brought me. I was like, knock me out. I took one pill before, like as instructed, and I on the way to the clinic, I'm like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, whatever. And then you get to the clinic, you take two more, and then I remember you walking in. I think I gave you a high five. Did I give you a high five?
that you did. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you gave me a high five, like, let's get this going.
Yeah, like, "Yeah, let's go." And then you were telling me, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do." And I was like, "Mhm, sounds great." And then I remember asking Tanya because she's got an accent. I was like, "Hey, I watched this TikTok. Can you say, like, like, 5 bowls of boiling oil?" Because in a southern accent, "5 bowls, bon." And she said it fine. But, so yeah, and then
Who
I
started your
don't
IV?
Kinsey, she
Mm.
did a great job. I didn't feel nothing. And, and then I don't remember anything. And then I remember waking up in a Costco parking lot, and there was something by my head. Sean bought an awning for a camper, and so I was like, "Huh? Okay." And then Sean was trying to get to Chick-fil-A. I don't think I told you this part. Um, and he was, like, asking me to help him. I guess I seemed coherent. I don't remember a thing. And I'm, like, trying to type it in. I'm like, I keep hitting W, and the 2 keeps pressing on. I can't get it. And he's, like, getting frustrated. He's like, "Oh my gosh, like, what? Just give me the phone." I'm like, "Why are you mad at me?" Just start crying, and then I don't remember the ride home. I also don't remember biting your finger.
But she bit me twice. Twice she bit me. And you bit me and you actually started laughing and you went, "Did I just bite you?" And I went, "Yes, you bit me. You bit me hard." And then you started laughing and then you bit me again and I was like, yeah, what's that
Charlie
Charlie, you
bit
bit my
my
finger. And
finger.
we kept making fun of you with that. But do you remember I asked you a question before your husband left?
Oh,
I said, "Tell me about the time you got the most drunk." And then you started laughing, and then you're like, "Oh, it was so much fun." And you started going off, and he's like, "Okay, I don't want to hear
wait,
this."
did I tell say any details?
Oh yeah.
Was I at a club?
It was in Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah, it was in college, and you started talking about. You started talking. I just remember that, and then I remember seeing Sean's face, and he's like, "I don't want to hear this," and he just took off. And then
Uh,
you started saying some other thing, and then it was kind of like, blah, and then
uh,
and then you were
oh,
done.
good. I didn't get too
No,
much
you didn't
into
get too
the
detailed. No.
you would never hear that story.
So you want to tell it now?
No, thanks. It's going to the grave.
So we took your tooth out.
Yeah, and then you put the implant in and just the abutment, so there's no tooth. That was a little strange to, like, get used to the no tooth being there, because I feel like my tongue was, like, kinda getting into the spot, but now it's fine. I was, like it was a little sore for, like, maybe 2 days. I just took regular Tylenol. I didn't like the Norco. I can sleep well with that. I was like,
Yeah, it
"Nah."
doesn't. It kind of just makes you feel weird.
Yeah, I was not a fan, but, yeah, I just took Tylenol, and then now I'm fine.
So we did an extraction, placed bone graft, put your implant in. Then we put in this case, we put a custom healing abutment,
Mhm.
which actually, the majority of implants that are done, they place the implant, they place a healing cap, and then everything has to heal to that. We don't do that. We actually know the size of your socket, and we actually put a healing abutment that fits the exact socket depth
It's
and
crazy looking.
seals.
It's crazy
It
looking.
kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you don't get food or anything catching in there at
Nope.
all, right?
Nope.
So then you will wait roughly 3 months. We'll take an X-ray, see how it's doing. If everything
Mhm.
looks good, then we'll take an impression, and you'll get your final crown and abutment. That same, well, the lab will make that, and then we'll be able to put that all together.
Yep.
Okay, well that's pretty easy, isn't it?
I know. I'm so excited. And I've seen these implants that you're doing and how they're healing compared to like other ones that, how it used to be done, right? The amount of bone that you're saving is incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I actually think to myself, if I was going to get this done, this is how I would want it done.
mhm.
And the reality is it's just not being done anywhere in the world like this.
Yep.
And so just because it's something that we've created, there's few people that are doing similar things, but not nearly to the extent that we are.
Mhm.
It's hard to be able to tell someone, now you've been through the experience.
Yeah, I've been telling patients now, like, the experience that I've had with this implant, I'm like, "This is how you want it done. Like, trust me." Like, don't I mean, every case is different, right? But if you could do it this way, do it.
Well, see, they just came out with a study actually in 2023, and they looked at when you take a tooth out, what happens is that the bone from your cheek side and the bone from your tongue side, it resorbs within just 6 months 4 millimeters. That's a tremendous amount of
Mhm.
resorption. It also resorbs almost 1.5 millimeters from the top to the bottom. Now that's just from what we call your buccal bone. So that's a lot of resorption. Then the
Mhm.
rest of your life, it continues to resorb. So majority of implants that are done, they wait the 6 months. Well, that resorption's already taken place. Then you put your implant in, and then it's still going to resorb. If you even do an implant the same day and you don't seal that socket, you still get a tremendous amount of resorption. So that's the things that we're trying to do with the system that we're doing.
Mhm.
What's wonderful about you is now you can speak about it the rest of your life. And then in 2 years, you're going to be in Virginia and go, you have to go see Dr.
Go to
McCrae.
go to Idaho.
Because nobody else is doing it the way that he's
Yeah.
doing it, right?
Oh, yeah. I've told all because I have, connections all over the place now because I have friends all over the states that do dentistry. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, you got to look at this. Same with the airway stuff. Like, I briefly like touched on it when I was in school. There was a doctor back in Virginia that kind of did something similar, but the only thing he did was kind of like the prosomnus to the mandibular advancement device. Um, but wow, so much that I've learned in just two years,
Is that how long you've been with
almost
us?
three actually. October will be 3 years.
So how long were you working with us before you went to Italy with us?
A year?
Oh, you've been a
I think
year?
it was a year. Yeah.
Because it was just last year.
hmm
How did you like the trip to
Oh
Italy?
my gosh. I tell people that I'm like, my boss took me to Italy. And they're like, what? Can I work there? Like, I don't know. But that was an amazing trip. I was just talking about this today. Remember the walk up to in Montenegro, the old castle wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we were the only two that lasted.
Oh, that's right. You and
Yeah.
I were the only ones that did that.
Yeah.
Yes. What the heck? What was wrong with our team?
I don't know.
Because we ate like crazy. I wanted to burn some calories.
Yeah.
You did really well, though.
Thank you. You prepped me with all the stairs in our office. Gosh.
But no, you did good. I waited for you.
Yeah, you did. I was like, he waited me for it, made sure I didn't die. uh,
But the view was worth it,
it
wasn't
was
it?
so worth it. And it's just one of the things like I did that. I accomplished that. How amazing.
Yeah. Everybody else chickened out. Everybody
Lame.
else.
The thing is like we went with like a group of like 10 people, I think. There was 8 or 10 of us. And we got up to the very front. I think it was only 50 steps. And half the group dropped out.
Yeah. So you gotta picture this. It's literally on a side of a mountain, and you see this stair. Basically, it's just switchbacks all the way up the
Mm-hmm.
mountain, and the view is at the very top of this mountain. And it probably takes, how long did it take?
45 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour to be able to get to the top.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit crazy and you know that when I want to go, I go.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So we were passing a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were passing a lot of people getting up to the top. And then there would be times that we would kind of just take our time, but we got to the very top, and it was hot that day too.
Oh yeah.
But we got to the top, and then you see the beautiful view. But as we were starting from the bottom, there was 10 of us in the group that we were with that we were all gonna go. We get 50 steps in, and they're like,
Oh,
okay,
this is
I'm not
hard.
doing this.
Yeah, I will say Dr. Hyde did bring the wrong shoes. She's like, I can't do these in these shoes. I will give her that.
Okay.
And then Dr. John's his allergies did act up.
Yes, they were.
So I will give him
Okay.
that too. And Lacey was very sweet and went with him.
Now that is
But
true.
everybody else, you suck.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. Yeah. But that was fun.
It was an amazing trip.
Croatia was beautiful. That was
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
I was one that I was like, okay, and I would love to go back to Croatia and just on like a small yacht and go around
That'd
the
be
coast.
cool.
That would be like, yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
This was a daily question that I came up with. And I don't remember your answer. So I've already asked it, but I want you to answer this one. Okay. So it is the end of the world.
Okay.
Okay. In 2 years, you know it's coming. It's going to be an EMP, zombie apocalypse. Something really, really bad is going to happen to where the majority of the population is going to be taken out in one way or another. You are given $7 million total.
Ooh.
Okay. You have $7 million and 2 years to prepare. The question is, what do you do and where do you go to prepare?
Hmm. Well, I'll build my own pickleball court. Buy all the right paddles. And with the $6 million, I'm just kidding. Oh gosh, that's a great question. I don't think I got asked this question.
Okay, I just came up that I was driving up and I was like, I wonder if I asked her this one. Okay, so
Mm-mm.
you got to answer that question
Gosh, 7
while
million.
you're thinking of it.
So if this is in the between the 2 years before it
So
happens.
you got 2 years to prepare. You
Okay.
get $7 million total, no more, and you've got $7 million to be able to prepare. Money is going to be worth nothing in the 2 years because you
Mhm.
know what's coming. Basically, God's coming down and He gives you a direct. This is happening. Here's $7 million.
Mhm.
Oh, and you can't tell anybody.
Oh shoot.
You can tell
Okay.
your husband. That's it.
Okay.
You can't tell anybody else.
Well, he would probably know what to do.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's your plan. You're not giving it.
Oh
You have to
shoot.
come up with the
All
plan.
right. Probably hire like a survival, one of those survivor like people, like
Mhm.
to kind of prepare, like learn how to hunt.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to do that. But great, take me hunting with you. um, we know how to fish, so we'll be okay in that regard. Because
So
we would
number
need
one,
defense though.
the number one question: location. Where are you
Location.
going?
Nah, the coast. I
Of
think I would.
where?
Hmm. I don't know that. Gosh. A part of me wants to go back to the Philippines to live with my mom and dad. Mom and dad, help me. Um,
This is
but it's
world. This
it's
is
way too
worldwide.
it's way too populated there though. Um, I don't know. I feel like I would go on like an island or something where there's not a lot of people.
Okay, that's really good. So I thought about it. There was two places that I thought. Number one would be an island.
Mhm.
Okay, and okay, I was kind of I did some research. I found an island outside of Fiji that you can buy for $3.5 million.
Oh, you did real
Oh, I
research.
did. Yeah, it was 75 acres. I mean, you had fresh water,
Oh,
you had
wow.
everything, and so for $3.5 million, you could have your own island. You basically would be able, and then you would want to stock it with your own like beef cows and dairy cows and chickens and
Mhm.
that's going to take quite a bit of money just to get that. Then you're going to want one heck of a boat to be able to for transportation, and then it's going to be the rest is all for defense.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably just spend 7 million on fun things and then just end it.
That was actually quite a bit of a lot of people said the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
just going to
eh,
enjoy the
2
2
years.
years and then yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not have to work. Oh,
Now, for me, it would be no, I got to prepare,
nah.
and I would actually probably enjoy some of the preparation that would go
You
into it.
you definitely would.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So the other option that I thought of was, and this would be, uh, you'd want someplace warm because because I thought of Alaska, but I
Mhm.
think that would really get old really, really fast.
Nope.
If I had to do it in the continental United States, like someplace within the United States, I think Idaho would be actually the perfect place. So
Really?
yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah, it'd probably be someplace. You got to remember, as the world ends, everybody's going to head to the mountains.
True.
So it would be someplace like Jordan Valley, out in the middle of nowhere, not necessarily mountainous, but you'd buy your own little ranch and
Man, see, I
have
would
it.
go back to Virginia.
Oh yeah,
I would.
yeah.
The thing is, Virginia is
But
so diverse.
yeah, but the amount of people.
It is very crowded there. You are correct in that regard. Western Virginia, maybe.
Mm,
Uh,
really?
no.
Okay, did you hear that Virginia's governor is like at the top of the list of being Trump's VP?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you know the reason why is because if he can, he's a Republican, and if he can bring Virginia, which it's like 50-50 right now, whether because it's always gone Democrat,
Oh, yeah.
but it's 50-50 right now. And if it went Republican, it would almost ensure the presidency.
Wow.
So it's like a huge if he can get it.
I
So
don't know.
we'll see. I think we find out. Is it tomorrow? I think we find is it tomorrow or the next day who the VP of Trump is. If you're Trump, who would you pick?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oprah? No, I'm just kidding.
Oprah. It's because I'm Oprah.
um, Marjorie, you've been absolutely a wonderful employee. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. You actually are an inspiration to I'm being serious.
You're so nice.
You are an inspiration to all of us for all the love that you show to your family, to your husband, to Wyatt. Thank you for everything.
Well, you're a great example. So thank you for ah, don't. Ah, well, I I've always struggled with faith and religion. I'm not a very religious person. I'm not. But I feel like God puts us in places, right?
Absolutely.
There's a reason why I'm here right now, you know? God put me like God sent me to you for a reason, right?
Well, and I think that our Heavenly Father does bless us with certain people in our lives to be able to help each other. And I truly believe in the abundance theory of being able to, as you help others, you will get help.
Mhm.
And so, I mean this. I don't want you to go anywhere.
I don't
You're,
want to
it was
either.
one of those things where I think it's very important. But I, I think it's interesting your statement. You haven't been very religious, but I know you have a deep belief. I don't think religion I don't think religion defines the belief that you have in God. And so I don't think that's a correct statement that you just made,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so it doesn't have to be, I believe in this religion or I believe in this. I have a deep faith in God and I know that I'm being watched and led. And I truly believe that most of us have, even if, you know, even if you're an atheist or agnostic, you still deep down inside know that there is a higher power that is watching out for us
Mhm.
and wants the best interest for ourselves. And because I truly believe we are his children. So keep the faith.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's been great. And until next time, thank you.